Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Jessica Blum here in the streaming studio to talk about maybe another potential night to see the Northern Lights. If you really got out and enjoyed last night, or maybe you felt like you missed out, you didn't know what was going on, we're going to talk a little bit more about what you can expect for this evening. But yesterday really was a spectacular viewing of some of those amazing colors within the night sky. We did have an influx of some of those pictures on our website as well. I wanted to show you some of that here. As you look at our 1011now.com website, I was going to take you to where you can submit your own photos, or you can see where other people have submitted photos. We have, if you go to the left-hand side of your screen, you see I clicked on the three lines just to the left of the live button there on our top tab, and then going down to the bottom, there is a submit photos and videos section that if you click on that, you can see some of the other photos from last night. You can also use this section of our website to submit your own photos, and we'll look through these, throw them into our newscast, things like that. So there may be another chance to see some of this here going into this evening. But I will say the forecast, as you've been enjoying maybe your Wednesday, has looked very, very pleasant, very warm for this time of the year. Looking at some of my presets here, and they are not saved to what I should have them on. Let's see here. There we go. We're going to start with the weather almanac for your Wednesday afternoon. We did drop down to 29 degrees here in Lincoln here this morning. So it was still comfortable last night to view some of those northern lights, but then temperatures kept falling throughout the night, and we did fall below freezing. High temperature so far today up to 66 degrees, which is above average by 13 degrees for this time of the year. Usually we're around 53 degrees, but our morning low of 29 was exactly normal for this point in the middle of and almost the middle of the month for November. Sunset tonight at 5:11. Low temperatures across the state were a mix of 20s and 30s outside of Alliance, showing off down to 17 degrees early on today. But again, 29 here in Lincoln, up around freezing. In York, Grand Island, Hastings, Kearney were a degree or two warmer than that in south central Nebraska, but they were also the warmer ones yesterday afternoon, taking some time to cool down to those temperatures. High temperatures so far this afternoon range from around 60 degrees in northeast Nebraska to the middle and upper 60s to almost 70 degrees in south central and southwestern Nebraska. Holdridge, Lexington, Ogallala, McCook, all up around 69 degrees here this afternoon with plenty of sunshine. There have been a few more clouds building in, and I think western Nebraska is seeing a little bit more of that than we have here in eastern Nebraska. And you can see plenty of sunshine here in Lincoln, up toward Omaha and Grand Island. Right now, temperatures are up around 65 degrees at the Lincoln Airport. We're at 64 here at the 1011 studio with a northeast breeze less than 10 miles per hour. I will say temperatures across town are still quite mild, too, in the middle and upper 60s, a little warmer on the west side of town. But a comfortable day nonetheless. As we look at temperatures across southeast Nebraska, Wilbur's at 66 degrees, Beatrice is at 67, 67 in Wymore. It's kind of hard to believe looking at these temperatures that this is November, but a nice stretch of days here for this week, leaning above average for quite some time. And we actually get a little warmer by the end of this week, going to talk about especially Friday here coming up. Temperatures across the state here just before 4 o'clock are in the middle and upper 60s to still around 70 degrees toward McCook, with winds that are out of the east and northeast in portions of central and eastern Nebraska. Western Nebraska, you have a little bit more of a southerly breeze at this point. With there you see it, a little more cloud cover kind of building in across the state, partly to mostly cloudy in some spots. But we'll see some of that cloud cover throughout this evening continue to build in. So that may play a part in what potential there is for some northern lights viewing across the state here this evening. We may have to dodge a few clouds, though I think most of the cloud cover's building in for southern Nebraska toward midnight before still some cloud cover to wake up to tomorrow on Thursday. And then we'll see those clouds dissipate for the afternoon and evening hours of tomorrow. So still a lot of sunshine, especially for the second part of the day, and still no precipitation in sight for the rest of the work week. Now, giving you a timeline of the northern lights here this evening, I think really a lot of the time frame to see the northern lights today has been peaking with this solar storm in the afternoon, unfortunately. So we won't be able to see much, of course, with the sun at this time. But as the sun's going down, I think if you can try to get outside of city limits and you can dodge some of the cloud cover this evening between 6 and 9 o'clock, that would probably be your best bet. And then chances are kind of dropping off as we go throughout the night toward the 9 to midnight time frame and the midnight to 3 a.m. time frame. But some general tips if you're looking to catch a glimpse of the northern lights again tonight, get away from those city lights. Again, auroras in Nebraska are typically dim and low on the northern horizon. Yesterday and last night was really an exception to that with how strong this geomagnetic storm has been. But you'll want to take long exposure photos on your phone or with your camera. That's what helps bring in more light to be seen out of those northern lights and makes for a more vivid picture than what you can see with your naked eye, because you can't always see these with your naked eye. But again, last night was an exception to that. You can also bring some patience with you when you're trying to capture these events. The aurora forecasting may be off altogether. It's very hard to pin down an exact time frame as to when these will be best in view, because the storm can change on its way from the sun to the earth. The solar storm could arrive several hours before the forecast window, if not after the forecast window. And you got to give your eyes some time to adjust. But the best time to look is usually after the sun's gone down, possibly again here this evening. But overnight, should be comfortable to go out and try to see the northern lights once again. Temperatures will be cooling into the 40s beyond 8, 9 o'clock, down to the lower 40s for 11 o'clock and into the early morning hours of Thursday. More clouds will be building in overnight, though. So, again, I think as the sun's going down, that'll be your best chance to view some of these northern lights if they are out and about. And then hopefully we're dodging a lot of that cloud cover at that same time, too. Last night was just the perfect kind of viewing conditions. It wasn't too cold, but we didn't have cloud cover either. And then that storm, that geo storm, was really, really quite strong to be seen across much of Nebraska and really for areas farther south in the United States as well. But tomorrow we'll be dropping down to the upper 30s to lower 40s, much more comfortable for the morning time frame than any other morning really so far this week. So a good morning to get out and about for a dog walk or a bike ride, with our temperatures warming up to about 70 degrees tomorrow afternoon. Again, more sunshine to the second part of the day, with warmer temperatures out in western Nebraska. Lower and middle 70s will be pretty prevalent once you get past Broken Bow and into the Sandhills and into the Panhandle. So a comfortable day really throughout the state tomorrow. And then another warm morning, talking about 30s and 40s when we should be in the upper 20s at this time of the year for Friday morning. But before we talk about Friday's forecasted highs, we are on record watch. Right now, we've got the forecast for Lincoln up to 76 degrees. The record for Friday, set back in 1990, at this point is 75 degrees for Lincoln. Then you look at other spots in the state, and there's a record watch for other places as well. Grand Island could shatter their record, really, from 2001 of 71 degrees. Our forecast at 79 degrees. I will say we did look into how many times we've seen 80 in the month of November on record, and here in Lincoln it's been about 14 times in total, with records dating back to the 1800s. Hastings also could break their record. Omaha will come close. We've got a forecasted high of 74 degrees, but their record a little warmer at 76 degrees back from the 1960s. And then as you can see, Norfolk likely to shatter their record from 2001, but North Platte and McCook will be a little bit closer as well. So on record watch for several towns across Nebraska as you look at these forecasted high temperatures in the middle, upper 70s. Wouldn't be surprised to see a spot or two get to 80 degrees on Friday in November, and almost middle November at that. So a rarity at that, and we're also calling it a top 10 day just because of the calm conditions we're going to see, mostly sunny skies before we cool down over the course of this weekend. Saturday, we'll have a front come through, but that should be a dry frontal passage, not bringing us any precipitation, and the precipitation chances still look to hold off to next week. We're still hammering out some details. Some longer-term models are still explaining that there could be a couple scenarios with a low-pressure system coming in over Nebraska, if not a little bit further north. If it moves a little further north, we're trending warmer on Monday and likely to see rain But if that track is trending a little bit further south, we could have some wintry precipitation mixing in. We're just going to continue to work out those details, though, as that's still several days out at this point, and we're still confident in, of course, some warmer temperatures to end this week. But that has been a look at your 7-day forecast. Of course, the latest forecast details always up on our app, 1011 Weather app, as well as on 1011now.com. Until next time, we hope you have a great Wednesday afternoon.